She no one designer. Girl, she be finer. Meet her for finer. Wanna make a minor.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Itabile Ngopo. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm such a character today. And those things, like, they're so small with my hair, like with my head. If I don't have any weave on, they feel so small. Okay? But nonetheless, let's get into today's video. Please don't forget to watch the ads, hey? Please don't forget to watch the ads. And I'm so grateful to everyone that's been watching the video and not skipping the ads. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna put a text here, right? Okay. So the text goes, "Hey ma'am, I just want to share my story and raise awareness for young ladies who are aspiring to date older rich men. Let's get to it." My name is Xolile. I was born and raised in a small village in the Eastern Cape. I was raised in a single-headed household by my mom, although my dad is still alive. He has another family, so we had an on and off relationship with him. When I was around 10 years old, my mom got married to my stepdad, but it wasn't long before he was involved in a car accident and passed on, leaving my mom heavily pregnant with a set of twins, my little brother and my little sister. Life went on. My mom still struggling here and there, but she always made sure that we never went to bed hungry. I then matriculated with 2 distinctions and got accepted to study journalism at UJ. Life away from home was really good, and Egoli was so good to me. Egoli! I met different people from different cultures and backgrounds, and I knew even after finishing varsity that my life is going to be based here. I'm going to graduate, get a job, buy a car, and get married to a wonderful man and start a family here in Johannesburg. Okay. Now we're getting a little bit more serious, guys, and I feel like these things are distracting me. But anyway, one day I received a call that my mother had a stroke on her way back from work and she's in the hospital. My little brother and my little sister are still in secondary school. Therefore, I couldn't exactly trust their judgment on anything. So I rushed back home to the hospital to see how my mom was doing. And the doctor gave me the news that my mother is in a coma. Oh my God. But her brain is well alive, so there are chances that she will wake up soon, and she's been placed on oxygen to help her breathe well. My mom was taking care of my tuition, and I realized that I was away during this time. She was not waking up as quickly as we had thought she would, because it was now 3 months since being in a coma. And worse, the company that she had worked for had let me know that they wouldn't be covering any further costs from the hospital. But I was hopeful that one day she will wake up. The burden was now my own fees, my accommodation, my food, plus my siblings' fees, their food and their clothing. Not forgetting my mom's medical bills. I decided to start looking for a job, to work part-time, but I wasn't getting anything until my best friend suggested that I try another particular dating app, which I won't mention by name, but I could find a sugar daddy, someone who could assist me. Because another thing is, basically we were watching other girls living the soft life in varsity. Remember, I'm just a rural girl and the idea wasn't sounding so great to me, but my best friend insisted, you know. She even set up an account for me. She suggested we take great pictures of me wearing my best clothes and makeup, and then we uploaded. I started getting notifications on the app. But I would just read the funny pickup lines and laugh it off, you know. Older men are hilarious. One thing about older men, they are hilarious. But there was this one particular account that seemed to not give up, and I ended up responding. The guy wasn't too old, and well, he was good looking, and I could see myself on his arm, okay? So he asked me if I was single, and I responded, yes, I am. Then the guy replied and asked me my name, hey? We started chatting, and the guy asked if he could come pick me up. And it was a Friday night, and he said he didn't want to go to the club alone. So I was just like, ah, man, no, there's no way, you know. I didn't reply, obviously. But the guy kept texting, hello, are you there? But I ignored him, okay? And then he said, sorry, I will give you 10,000 rand. I will make sure you get home safe. I was like, oh, okay. Now that called for my attention, hey? I looked at my phone. Okay, his exact words were, sorry, I will give you 10,000 rand and I will make sure you get home safe. I looked at my phone and my mind ran to all I could do with that money, okay? I might not need to drop out of school after all if this thing goes well, because thoughts of dropping out were weighing heavy on me. But this meant I would have to sell my body to get that money, according to how this app works, or according to the expectations of the people on this app. So as I was thinking about what I'm gonna do, I got a text from my sister, and she said they couldn't sleep because they were very hungry. They didn't have anything to eat. I managed to calm them down and I told them that I would send them something the following day. So I sent the guy my number, my location, and my account number, and he replied, I'm on my way. And immediately, the 10K notification beeped on my phone. I quickly sent my sister and brother an e-wallet, and the guy came. I was hesitant to follow him. I was hesitant to go outside to go see him. But after the guy came down from the car to let me see him and introduced himself to me, I realized he wasn't that bad. So we got into the car and then we left for the club. He wasn't so bad, okay? So I spent the weekend with him. The weekend was soon over and I went back to school. Then I sat with my friend and told her how it went with the guy from the app, my experience at the club, and how we sat at the VIP section, how I saw especially celebrities and the influencers and some girls we went to school with. But the part I didn't like about it was just sleeping with him. He is a nice guy, but I really felt bad about it, hey? But who? My friend. She just said, cheer up, my friend. A girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do, okay? So I managed to get a few things out of the way as he ended up sending me another 40K. But the problem was, another month passed and my mom has still not yet woken up. One morning, I was about to go into class for a lecture. I received a call from the hospital that they have news for me, that I needed to come to the hospital. I thought it was good news and I hurried back to the hospital. As I got there, I received the worst news of my life. The doctor told me that the bill is too high, and if I cannot make a payment to keep my mother in the ICU, they may need to pull the plug and let her go. But now the tricky part is the hospital had given me a week's notice, hey? 1 week's notice. As the day drew near, the doctor called me to remind me that I need to make part of the payment, and I promised to bring the money in 2 days. I went to the hospital and told my mother everything, and that I would do anything to save her life. And because The doctor had told me that she could hear me when I speak. I needed her to respond, to show me that she was there. And I asked her to grip my hand, and she gripped my hand. And therefore, I was willing to fight for her life. And I was out. That night, I called my guy and told him I'm ready, but I'm in the Eastern Cape. And then he booked me the first flight the following day, and then I went to visit him. He lives alone in a big mansion. His house is very beautiful. He took me out to eat in a very expensive restaurant. I will not tell the place where he lives. He took me out to eat in a very expensive restaurant. When we came back from the restaurant, then we did it again for the second time. And then he gave me 50,000 rand cash. But I think he could see in my eyes that I'm not satisfied with the money that he had given me. And I told him that I needed more. So he gave me a condition. But first he said, how bad do you want it? I know you need the money. I asked him what his condition was. And he said to me, I have a pet in my second room. If you can spend the night with him, I will give you an additional 150,000 rand. I was shocked. What do you mean you have a pet? I asked. He smirked and said, what's a smirk? He smirked and said, just go and see. I then said, okay, behind you. And there was a big snake curled in the corner of the room. I was so scared I ran out screaming, but he came after me, calming me down not to be scared. He gave me a glass of water as I was shaking uncontrollably. But I eventually calmed down and he asked me, so what do you say? I asked him to send the money and I'll do it. So part of it was sent to the hospital and the remaining amount to my account. I asked him to handcuff me. Girl, I asked him to handcuff me, to blindfold me, and to put a cloth in my mouth and then carry me to the room naked. He did exactly as I instructed him, and he switched off the lights. My last memory was of a big cold creature entering my body, and as I'm typing the story, I'm in bed in one of the mental institutions in the country. I can't exactly remember what happened afterwards or how I got to hospital, but for what it's worth, my mom woke up and my siblings are okay.
She no one designer, girl she be finer. Meet her for finer, wanna make her minor.